Hello, my little yarnivores. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial for you. And today I'm going to show you how to create this super easy and super lovely 9-pointed blanket. And you can do whatever size you want. And the shape of the blanket, of course, is not very typical. It is a star. And as you will see in the intro outro, and it is just really, really quite simple. It is 3 rows, and then the 4th row, you just repeat until you achieve the size that you want. And I fell in love with this colorway. And against my better judgment, yes, I went a little crazy, and I did buy quite a few. So this brand is by Lion Brand Yarns. It's called Ice Cream, the Big Scoop. And that blanket that I did, it's a baby blanket, approximately 42 inches. I only used one of these. In fact, I had about this much left over. So it does work up, believe you me. So this one is strawberry. Love, 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 love the slow, gradual color change. And then we have over here, we have cookies and cream. How cute. Nice gray scale. And then here we have blueberry. Just in love, and these are great for baby blankets because they are so super soft. Very, very, very soft. And the one that I actually did was in mint. And I would totally recommend picking up a skein or two, or, well, I picked up 8, but hey, who's counting? And it's really great to work with. And because it is a slightly thinner weight, it's a weight of 3, it's a light, I would suggest using perhaps a size H crochet hook. You don't want it to be too lacy. And, well, let's get started, shall we? I'll show you how to do it. Back in a flash. Okie dokie, my dears. So, as I said, we're using a size H crochet hook, and we are going to start with our slip knot, as always. And to start with, we're going to chain 4, and we're going to join with a slip stitch to create a ring. So we do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then into that first chain, do a slip stitch. There we are. Scooch our tail over there. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 4, and that's going to count as our first double crochet plus a chain 1. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then going into this center ring here, all right, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, 7 more times. So that's 1 with the chain 1, 2, 3. Well, we've got a total of 4 quote-unquote double crochets here, so we need a total of 8. So we're just going to keep going around. So that's 4, technically speaking. 5, 6, 7, and 8 double crochets with a chain 1 in between each one. And then we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain And it's actually easier just by seeing how there's a chain 1 here, and it's the one right before it. So we're going in. Sometimes a little tricky, but we always persevere, don't we? All right, so going to do a slip stitch and connect. All right, so that is the end of our first round. And so it's 8 double crochets with a chain 1 in between each of our double crochets. And then on to round number 2. Alrighty, so for row number 2, we're going to slip stitch into this first chain 1 space, like so. And then we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do a double crochet into the same space, like so. And then we're going to chain 2 and then do 2 more double crochets. Let me see here. Yeah, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain space. All right, and then we repeat that. So it's chain 2, just following my pattern here, and then 2 double crochets into that next chain space. So we've got 2 in this chain space, chain 2, 2 double crochets in that chain space, and we just do the same thing all the way across. One, 2, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2, 2 chains, 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 2, 2 more double crochets into that chain space, 1 and 2, chain 2, and 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, yep, again, and into this chain 1 space, 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2, and then we finish off with a chain 2, 1, 2, and then we slip stitch into the top of that first double crochet. Into the third chain we do our slip stitch, like so. So we got kind of spokes for a wheel going on here, as you can see. Alrighty, and then we'll go on to round number 3. All right then. Alrighty, so for round row 3, we're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet stitch, right into here. And then we're going to do another slip stitch into the space that we have in here, like so. All right. Then we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to do another double crochet. So technically speaking, that's 2 double crochets because the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So we've got 2 double crochets there. Then we do a chain of 2, and then 2 more double crochets into the same chain 2 space. So chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. So we've got 2, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay, and then that is the what we call a shell as far as this pattern is concerned. And so we're going to do one of these shells in all of these chain 2 spaces with no chains in between. So to make it clear, we're going to immediately go into the next chain 2 space with 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets, all right, then we go into the next chain 2 space with 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, into the next chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets for another shell. All right, and then 2 more double crochets into that chain space, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, get some more yarn going on here. I wish the balls were self-feeding, you know? All right, and then 2 more double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets, two double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets. And this pattern is great for repetition. And if anybody's been watching this channel long enough, they know that I love repetition and I love projects where you can let your mind roam elsewhere and not have to agonize so much over the pattern. All right, and there we are. And so we've gone all the way around, and so now we do a slip stitch into the third chain, 1, 2, and 3, right into here. All right, so we do our slip stitch, and that will complete our third round. Ta-da! All right, and then we shall do round 4. Alrighty, so for our 4th round, we're going to do a slip stitch into that first double crochet there, and we are going to immediately do a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now actually I'm going to undo that because this, like many other patterns and tutorials I have done, this chain 3 we are going to have to go into at the end of every round with a slip stitch. So it will behoove you to make sure that this stitch is loose enough that you can get into it later, believe you me. All right, so we chained up 3, and then we're going to do a shell into this next chain space here. So that, as we know, is a pair of double crochets. So that's 2 double crochets, and then chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets, There we are. Okay, and then let's see, do the shell. All right, and then we do another double crochet into this first double crochet right here. All right, so we have 3 double crochets over on this side, 3 on this side with a chain 2 space in between. Now, here's where we need to do our decrease, because this point is going to be one of our star points. Now, we also need the opposite, an inverse, a decrease. So we are going to now skip over these next 2 double crochets, okay? And we're going to go into the one after that. So skipping these 2, going into this one here, okay? And we're going to do a double crochet. And then we're going to do another shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and we do one more double crochet into that next double crochet stitch. And now we need to skip again. So we're going to skip the next 2. So that's this one, and we're going to go into that next one, the third one, with a single double crochet. And then into the next chain 2 space, we do yet another shell. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Do one more double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. Then we skip 2 double crochets and go into the third. So that's 1, 2, into the third. Now, just to show you, this right here may look like a chain stitch, but actually it is a double crochet stitch. So basically what it amounts to is when you are doing your skipping, it's skipping this one, and then going into your next one. And at first it can seem a little bit tricky, but as your pattern becomes more established, you will see that it becomes more visible and less difficult to see. All right, so we've got our 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Okay, and then we do one more. And then we skip 2, go into the third. Do another shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And do one more double crochet. And then we skip our 2, go into the third, do another shell, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, and 2, another double, skip our 2, go into the third with a double, do another shell, chain 2, do 2 more, Do another double. And skip 2 more, going into the third. All right, almost there, I promise. 2 more doubles. Chain 2. And 2 more doubles. Okay, and then do 1 more double crochet. Okay, and then we have our two doubles that we're going to skip. We're going to go directly into this chain here, into the third chain up, doing our slip stitch, just as I said before. All right, and ta-da! All right, now that is the end of the 4th round. Now, that 4th round is going to be the repeat for the rest of the entire blanket. Yes, indeed. And that is why this is such an awesome project, because from here on, to the end of your project, you really don't have to think very much about it, which is, it's a godsend, believe you me. And I'm going to do another round or two, just to show you that, it really is the same. It will dramatically look different over time, but, trust me. I know you can do it. Trust me on this one. All right, so I'll be right back, and we'll do another round just to show you how the repeat really is quite that simple. All right. All right, so we just finished round 4 now, and we just did the slip stitch going over those 2 skipped stitches, right? So now we're going to do a slip stitch into the next double crochet, and you need to do this at the beginning of every row. I kid you not. So we did our slip stitch into the next one, then we chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we do a double crochet into the next double crochet. All right, and then we do into the chain 2 space another of our shells. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. Then we're going to do a double crochet into the next double crochet space, and then we're going to do another one as well, because the last row that we did, it was groups of 3, as you can see here, but now we're doing groups of 4. Let me backtrack just a smidge. See our chain 3 here, then 1, and then our shell. So it's actually groups of 4. So every round that we're doing is going to be 1 more than the previous round, if that makes sense. So right here, we're going to be skipping these 2 double crochets here and going into the third. So we have our skip 2 right down there. And then we're doing these 2 double crochets. So we've got those 2. And then we do our shell into the chain 2 space. So in essence, the pattern is the same every round, with the exception that you're just doing 1 more of those double crochets before you do that skipping that goes on there. So we did our shell there, and then we do 2 regular double crochets. That's 1 and 2. Then we skip our 2, going into the third. doing 2 double crochets, and then we do our shell. So that's 1 and 2, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay, so we did our shell, so we do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then we skip the next 2 going into the third. Do another one, go into the chain 2 space with another shell. And it's really quite simple. Once you get the hang of it, you can just go into your own little Zen zone and have a meditative moment and perhaps listen to an audiobook. I've been doing that myself a lot lately. Okay. And then we skip those 2, go into the third with a double crochet. Do another shell. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to finish up the rest of this round off camera, and then I will show you what I mean on the following row. Okay? I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I'm almost done with this round, as you can see. Just finishing up here. And always at the end of the round, skipping those last 2 double crochet stitches, all right, doing a slip stitch into the top of that first one there, into that third chain, and slip stitch. And then, as before, slip stitch into that first double crochet, like so, chain up 3, and then we are now going to do 2 double crochets, 1 in each, and then we're going to do our shell. That's 1, 2, chain 2, 2 more double crochets. All right, and then we do 3, excuse me, 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. Then we skip those 2, go into the third. So we've got 3 double crochets on this side. And then we do our shell. Chain 2. Oops. Chain 2. There we go. And then 2 more double crochets. And then 3 double crochets, 1 in each. All right, so as I said, how we have our increasing, see, on this last row here, previously it was groups of 4, right? Well, now we have groups of 5. You see? So then on the next round, it would be groups of 6, and then it just keeps going out and out and out. So you can see here we have 2 of our star points, and we have our divots here. And it really is quite as simple as that, and I do love this pattern. And I really hope that you give it a try. Now, as I've said, you can, of course, do this as a baby blanket or a throw, any size you want, really. And you can, of course, change colors, make a nice, really starburst explosion of color using different colors of yarn and so forth. Just be sure to remember that if you are doing that, that every time the rounds get bigger and bigger, even if you're just doing one round, it uses more and more and more yarn every time you go around. So do keep that in mind. And I would love for you to give this a try because it is so easy and so much fun. And I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I always enjoy doing them for you guys. So if you have any questions or comments, please hit that comment section down below. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If not, please tell me why, because I would love to improve the quality of my videos for you all the time because you guys are so worth it. I love you guys. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I try to post videos as often as I can, and it means ever so much to me. So I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm very passionate about it. So until the next video, stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.